Alright guys, so this video we're going to go ahead and call the better late than never video on the OnePlus Buds. These came out a few months ago. A lot of you guys wanted me to check them out. I just hadn't been able to get my hands on them. I finally have them here, so we're going to take a look at them. They do come in retailing at $79. A lot of the videos and reviews and things that I've seen have been direct comparison to Apple's AirPods. In fact, I don't know if you guys saw the story. These actually got pulled off of a plane, I think, from customs because they thought that these were AirPod replicas that people were trying to ship into the country. So they do resemble AirPods quite a bit. There are some differences. We'll talk about that a little bit, but let's go ahead and check out some of the features, the specs, what you get inside the box, and see if it is actually worth the $79 price tag. Now, to start with, these do have Bluetooth 5.0, and they also have AAC and SBC playback. Now, as far as the IP rating, they do come in rated at IPX4, so this is not a pair that's completely waterproof, but this is definitely one of those pairs that you can go out and you're going to be fine if it rains or if they get splashed on. Just make sure you don't submerge them into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, this is pretty simple here. Because they have that AirPod style design, these do not use silicone ear tips, so the only extra thing included inside the box is the USB-C cable. And speaking of the charging cable, battery life is actually pretty good on these. On the earbuds themselves, you're going to get around 7 hours, where with the charging case, you're going to get around 30 hours total. Now, the charging case itself has a fast charge feature where a quick 10-minute charge will get you 10 hours worth of use. And that, in my opinion, is some of the best that I've seen, and that definitely comes in handy if you're somebody that forgets to charge your case from time to time. Now, as far as the case goes, I really like the design of this. I can see where they compare them to Apple's AirPods. This is more of an oval shaped design. It has a matte white texture. I do know that these are available in a few different colors, but I actually like the white design on here. On the back, you can see it has a very similar hinge to the AirPods. It does have a pairing button on the back, and then you have your USB-C input on the bottom. Now, as soon as you pop open the lid, if you have an Android device, you will see that it will pop up on your screen to auto pair, kind of like AirPods do if you have an iPhone or if you have an iPad or anything like that. So that's very convenient that it has this feature. But if you do use these with an Apple device, you will have to go into the normal Bluetooth settings and just kind of pair it manually. Now, moving over to looking at the earbuds themselves, they do have a similar style to Apple's AirPods. I will say the bulkier part on the outside, which is where your touch controls are located, it sticks out a little more than I like. I don't feel like it's as low profile, and I don't really care for the way that these look when they're in my ear. Now, the touch controls that are on here are definitely the most frustrating thing about these. If you're not using these on a OnePlus device where you are able to customize some of the controls, you're stuck with just having the ability to skip the track forward. That's really all you can do on here. You cannot play or pause other than just taking them out of your ear, because these do have the smart sensors where they will do that on their own. You cannot turn the volume up and down, so you have to pull out your phone to do that, or either summons the smart assistant. The only thing you have is double tap controls, and the only thing that allows you to do is to go forward. So you can't even go back to the previous track. Now, I did read an article where it said that OnePlus is going to be releasing an app, so you can use it on other devices, and you will be able to customize those controls. But as of right now, the only thing that you can do on here is just go forward. And again, another feature I want to point out, because it has that smart pairing feature with Android devices, on the drop down menu you can actually see the battery life for each earbud and the case itself. So in some regards, it does act like AirPods do with Apple devices. Now, as far as you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right. Now, as far as the microphones on here, I definitely think they did a good job with the microphones, and you really can't be too surprised, especially with this coming from a company that develops phones. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the OnePlus Buds. I noticed that it picks up my voice extremely well. I do notice that there is a slight static or popping sound that occasionally happens, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So this is the part of the video where I like to play some samples. That way you guys can kind of hear some of the characteristics of the earbuds before I give my opinion. So let's go ahead and check out some of those samples here. So now that you guys have heard some samples, I want to give my opinion on the sound itself. I think these sound really good. In fact, I think these sound better than Apple's AirPods, but it does have a warmer sound to it overall. They have a 13mm driver that you can tell that its main focus is on the low end. It's not to say that there's not a lot of details in the mids and the highs, because I think those are handled very nicely. But if you are listening to bass heavy genres, or if you're listening to stuff where there's a lot going on, you can tell that the mids and the treble just kind of take a slight step back. Vocals do sound excellent on these. The treble I wish was tuned up just a little bit more, and that's mainly to kind of balance it out with the boomier bass that these have. Now, one thing these really excel at is the sound stage and the sound imaging. They definitely feel much more open than most earbuds because of their open design, and then the details that they're able to pick up, as long as you're not listening to something very chaotic, these handle really nicely. Now, as far as some of my other cons with these, I really absolutely hate the controls. There's just no way around it. They only give you the ability to skip the tracks forward, so it is definitely lacking in that department. And then my only other complaint is for the $80 price tag. I really wish the case was a Qi wireless charging case, and that's mainly because I've seen so many other truly wireless earbuds offer that feature in that same price range. But overall, this is a very consumer-friendly sound. I think a lot of people are going to be extremely happy with these. If you're going into it not wanting to spend $160 on Apple's AirPods and you want to cut that in half, this is an excellent alternative. But guys, that's my better late than never video on the OnePlus buds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.